Good Thursday evening. It's 10 o'clock here. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11 Alive Weather Impact Team, and we're doing these extended updates for you at the top and bottom of the hour because we know you want weather information. We're here to give you that weather information in this form of an extended weather update, where we just got a new model in my last update at the bottom of the hour at 9:30. We were able to get that to you first as that just came in. Just kind of still updating some of the changeover from cold air to freezing rain, and then whether or not rain would overtake that on Sunday. And I'll show you that coming up in our forecast track in just a few minutes. But we want to get you started here on this expansion of the winter storm watch. And we told you yesterday that this would happen today, that it wouldn't be just North Georgia in the watch, that Atlanta would eventually be included in the watch. And it not only includes Atlanta, but also Athens over toward Augusta and south of I-20 down toward Coweta County, Fayette County, Spalding County, Butts County, Jasper County, Putnam County, that line up to the north, including the metro area. All of North Georgia, Northeast Georgia, Northwest Georgia, and again over toward Augusta, where all these areas have the potential of seeing some ice accumulation as well as power outages and some dangerous travel. But not everybody in this watch, in these counties that you see in blue, not everybody's going to have the same experience. It's going to be different down here in Coweta, Spalding, and Butts County than it's going to be even in North Gwinnett, Hall, Banks, Habersham County, and into Raven County. So we want to break this down for you even more so you can see what we're watching. We are expecting north and east of the city major impacts here along the I-85 corridor and the 985 corridor up into parts of Northeast Georgia. And that includes parts of Gwinnett County, North Fulton, Forsyth County, Dawson, Lumpkin, White counties, Union and Towns counties, also to the east, including Walton County, Oconee, Clark County at Athens, and on toward Madison County. That lined up to the north and east is where we're going to have major ice impacts there, with large amounts of ice, thick ice, collecting on trees and power lines. Now, closer to Atlanta, moderate icing impacts also for Northwest Georgia up 75 on this side, including Atlanta, and along the I-20 corridor. So we're going to have moderate icing impacts there. And again, I'm going to break down what that means for you in just a second. And then more minor impacts south of the city, where it's going to be more of a glazing and just some nuisance icing there, and maybe some sporadic power outages. So that's what we're watching. Here's a look in those specific areas, what that means for possible ice accretion or accumulation there. We're talking a ½ inch or more of ice collecting on trees and power lines. So at least a ½ inch or more. Those totals may be even higher than that. And that would be very destructive in these areas. That would be some really heavy tree limbs. The wind is going to be blowing. These trees and limbs are going to fall on power lines. We're going to have a lot of power outages there. Northwest Georgia through Atlanta along I-20 eastward, about a ½ inch to a ½ inch of ice accumulating on surfaces. And then to the south, glazing to about a ½ inch. And so those impacts would be a little bit lower there to the south of us. So let's break this down even more, and I'll show you here for Northeast Georgia, all right, what to expect there in that major category there in Northeast Georgia. As I mentioned, these would be ice totals over a ½ inch, and we would see dangerous to almost impossible travel. Remember, this is ice we're talking about. It's not snow. Some of us think we can navigate through snow a little easier, but even folks from the north who laugh at us when we try to navigate in winter weather here, even northerners have a hard time and can't really travel very well on ice. And a four-wheel drive doesn't really help that much in ice either. It is just slick, like a skating rink there. So be aware that it's going to be dangerous to almost impossible travel, especially north and east of the city. And we're going to have widespread power outages there too. Now let's come to the metro area and Northwest Georgia and along I-20 to the east of us. That's when we'll see those ice totals a ½ inch to an inch. Difficult travel, I would advise staying in. Don't plan on going anywhere. And there will be some scattered power outages there too in our region of Metro Atlanta. And then to the south, and southwest of us in the yellow color where we have the minor impacts. Ice glazing to 1/4 of an inch. That would be some slick travel in some areas and more isolated power outages, not as many widespread outages. And the reason this is lining up this way is because we have a shallow layer of cold air coming in from the north and east. That's the wedge. It is going to be colder in northeast Georgia for a longer period of time, and that's why the ice is going to be thicker there. Because of the conditions. And this just goes to show you the differences between those accumulations. 1/4 of an inch, or actually 1/10 of an inch, is glazing on sidewalks, roads, exposed surfaces, on a windshield, with isolated power outages with that. 1/4 of an inch, more icy roads. Tree limbs start sagging and breaking, falling on power lines, and that leads to numerous power outages. Then a 1/2 inch of ice, the weight of that ice on trees and tree limbs would be exponentially greater when you're at a 1/2 inch or more there. That would be even more dangerous travel. Widespread tree damage and widespread long-term power outages are possible because there would probably be a lot of them, and it would take the crews a lot longer to repair them. And that concerns me going into next week because it's really going to be cold into next week. And if we have days of power outages with temperatures falling into the teens here, in northeast Georgia and even here in Atlanta on Tuesday, and you don't have power, it is going to be hard to stay warm in conditions like that. So here's what we're watching with that weather impact alert still in effect Saturday and Sunday. We issued this Monday night well in advance of the storm, anticipating that we were going to have some sort of winter weather event. It's mainly going to be freezing rain, not a snow event. So just plan for travel and power impacts as we go through the weekend. Now here's a look at the models. Don't necessarily pay attention to these colors. We're not really assigning specific amounts to these colors. This is just kind of raw model data. But I just want to show you how not as much action south of us. The American model has it going a little farther south than the European model, but they both show the higher density of icing and more impacts to the north and east of us. The European model doesn't go as far south as the American model, but again, that trend of that area north and east getting the worst of the icing there. Again, not assigning any totals there to that ice. So we've been transparent with you all week long, talking about what we know and what we don't know about this system. We're feeling more comfortable that yes, there is some sort of winter storm weather going to be happening here this weekend, becoming more and more likely. More confident that there will be dangerous travel, more confident that there are going to be more power outages there, and also more confident that this is a freezing rain event and not a snow event. But still, we're fine-tuning the exact amounts. We're starting to narrow that down a little bit more, as well as the timeline. We have a rough timeline that we haven't really had to tweak that much. I think it's still going to time out pretty well. Also, the extent of the impacts. We're narrowing down some of those amounts and what those impacts would be and how they're going to match up. But again, this is still a rough outline of what we think is going to happen. The big question, though, that we may not know the answer to this until Sunday, and that is whether or not some warmer air is going to be able to move in and scour out that shallow layer of cold air at the surface from the wedge. I don't think that's going to happen in northeast Georgia, but from Atlanta southward, we may start warming up a little bit on Sunday, and we're going with a high of 38 on Sunday, and that's not way above freezing, but it might be above freezing for a little while. That might help inhibit any additional ice forming, but that's the big question. But I do think in northeast Georgia, it is going to stay below freezing, and just any additional rain comes in is just going to add to those ice totals. So here is the timeline of what we're thinking. During the day Saturday, the morning we're going to be fine. Temperatures are going to be in the lower 40s on Saturday morning, and that's mostly going to be the warmest temperature of the day in the lower 40s, and then getting colder into the afternoon. And that moisture is going to start mixing in. So I really think in the afternoon hours on Saturday, more of North Georgia and Northeast Georgia will start seeing the changeover. For Metro Atlanta, I'm thinking it's going to be more after sunset when we see more of the freezing rain that's going to be developing here, with the dangerous conditions developing through the nighttime hours Saturday and into Sunday morning. And then on Sunday morning, we're going to see the winter weather continuing. The power outages are going to multiply with the wind blowing, bringing down those heavy trees and power lines. but watching those temperatures very closely into the afternoon to see if we can get any of that warmer air coming in here to this pattern too. We have some showers out there tonight. No worries about winter weather tonight. Temperatures are above freezing now. They're going to stay above freezing overnight and also in the morning. So no threats with any type of winter weather tonight or tomorrow. Just dealing with some of these off and on showers coming through and additional moisture coming in, but a lot of that is trending more toward the south and the east of the city right now. Temperatures, as I mentioned, are well above freezing. We're in the upper 40s right now at 48 degrees. Mainly 40s. Eatonton's still holding on to 52 degrees there at this hour. So during the day tomorrow, starting off in the 40s, clouds, a few spotty showers here and there, getting up to 52 degrees in the afternoon. Now, let's walk through the forecast track to talk about this moisture moving in and how it's going to collide with that colder air. Tonight, just a few spotty showers here and there. In the morning, you'll navigate through a couple of those spotty showers. Then going into Friday at noon, not as many showers around. And in the afternoon, mainly dry with a good coverage of clouds here. Then going into Saturday, waking up to clouds but no rain. Look at this northeast flow coming in here. That's going to start bringing in that colder air where temperatures will actually fall during the afternoon hours. Still that moisture approaching. This is at lunchtime, nothing in Atlanta yet, but you can see some of that moisture coming into northwest Georgia. Then as moisture moves in, and look at this, the colder air pushing in, we'll have some spotty areas of freezing rain trying to develop there. But I really think the main part of the freezing rain is going to be in the evening hours on Saturday. More of that coverage of North Georgia, northeast of us, more of that to the west of us coming in. All right, so this is the time frame. Saturday night, overnight into Sunday, when we're going to see most of the icing taking place. 11:30 at night, freezing rain over Metro Atlanta, North Georgia, down to the south, even toward LaGrange and Columbus, possible there. Then on Sunday in the middle of the night, 3 o'clock, still freezing rain, even more of that there in northeast Georgia. In the morning on Sunday, freezing rain still with us. So that's going to be adding up those accumulations there through the overnight and then through the day. This is at 2:30 in the afternoon Sunday, where we still have freezing rain north and east, but then this model transitions this back to rain if we get back up above freezing. Now, if it's still freezing and this heavy rain comes in, that's just going to really multiply those ice totals. But if we can keep it above freezing when this heavier rain comes in, that would actually help with inhibiting the growth or the thickness growing of the ice out there if this is just going to be regular rain here. So that's a big thing that we'll be watching here for Sunday afternoon, and that is the big question with that too. Temperatures into next week are really important to watch too, because we're thinking the precipitation is going to end on Sunday night, but the temperatures are going to be really cold into Monday. So whatever ice is still there is going to linger into Monday. And look at these temperatures, Monday morning down to 23, Tuesday morning 16. And now the afternoon temperatures are interesting to watch too, because we needed them to get above freezing in order to melt some of this ice. I don't think we'll see a lot of melting on Monday with whatever is left from Sunday night. And then on Tuesday, we start in the 20s, but get up to 39 in the afternoon. That most likely won't get rid of everything either. And then by Wednesday, we do expect to move up into the 40s. So that's the main thing that we're going to be keeping an eye on here as we're watching those temperatures that are going to be really cold into next week. So that's going to be the big question again as to how long this ice is going to stick around. So the 7-day forecast is not bad tomorrow. A few showers here and there, temperatures near 52. And then the 41 high on Saturday is actually going to be earlier in the day, then falling temperatures during the day with that rain changing over to freezing rain. And then the main part, Saturday night, early Sunday, freezing rain. Do we get to 38 on Sunday? That will be above freezing, changing that all to rain instead of freezing rain. We'll watch that for the afternoon. But then we're down to 23 Monday, only a degree above freezing on Monday afternoon. So not much melting going on there. 16 Tuesday morning with a high of 39. So any power outages, if you don't have heat Tuesday morning when it's 16 degrees, that is going to be really cold. And then 21 Wednesday morning, back to 45, and then 41 on Thursday. So it is going to be a really cold week. So It's going to be tough to see much melting going into next week, but we'll keep watching this for you, fine-tuning this with any changes in the modeling or those temperature profiles. I'll have another shorter update at 10:30 and then more for you coming up tonight at 11 on 11 Alive News here on 11 Alive Plus. So thanks for watching this extended update. Another one coming up at 10:30 and then 11, and tomorrow beginning at 4:30 we'll start with continuous updates with our newscast streaming throughout the morning and into the afternoon tomorrow. So come to 11 Alive Plus if you're wanting some weather information, and we'll have it for you.